Right, when that download has completed and it installs, it will then come to this page. And if it, for whatever reason, you needed to restart your system, you can always go back to the place where it was installed, which is your C drive, SQL Server 2017 Media, and right-click Setup XE to rerun it. Okay, but you'll be presented with these options. We are going to begin with this one. Um, on this laptop, I already have installed SQL Server Management Studio, which is this link here. So you're going to want to come back to this and rerun to install that later on. But right now, we're just going to install SQL Server Express 2017 by clicking that. And we'll let it run through this process. I'm going to pause a little bit here and there throughout that process because it might take a little time. And we'll see. We're going to check, see if there's any updates. It doesn't take that particularly long, but you know, you're going to go through this entire vertical list here. So I'm going to just go ahead and pause for now, and we'll come back when this is completed. All right, well, this is pretty typical. There is a Windows firewall warning, but it's not a problem. Once you restart the computer, everything will be fine. We're going to hit next, and we're going to select all. Well, actually, let's just keep the defaults and not do anything different here, okay? Each one of these will take a different period of time. We want to stop at this point, however, because now we want to come back to, looks like I got 3 copies of this document here. I want to come back to this document. Remember, this was the under product documentation in the AssetWorks install stuff that we extracted. There's a section here that we need to go through and read this so that we follow these instructions, right? The first one here involves this one. In this screen, it says mixed mode is recommended. Oh, I'm sorry. First one here is select default instance name. So let's go ahead and come back to here, and we are going to click default instance. And you can give it a name. We might actually just call it, I don't know, call it AssetWorks. I'll just call it AW. It can be whatever you want it to be. All right. And then we're going to hit next. And it should come back now and ask us what kind of user authentication we want to use for this. I think all of this is fine. Again, we're going to keep this the way it is and hit next. Again, keeping the defaults. If you are a SQL Server administrator, you'll know what to change here. In this authentication mode, we're going to select mixed mode here, because if I go back to the document, mixed mode is recommended. Set the admin password that will be used, right? And then under SQL administrative or server administrators, click add current user to add the current user as an administrator. That way you can log in using Windows authentication or the SA password. So let's go back, mixed mode, right? So I'll go back here and I'm going to select mixed mode. This is the SA account, and you have to define a password for that. And you know, what the heck, I'm just going to, in lowercase, say AssetWorks. It could be whatever you want it to be. Yep. And we'll say add current user as well and hit next. I think I did that. Yep, add current user and next. And we'll see how long this might take a little time, so I'm going to go ahead and pause on this. All right. You can see that everything went through. I got green check marks on everything. Hopefully that happens for you as well. And you're complete. We can go ahead and close this. And we, at this point, do have SQL Server 2017 installed. Now, to interact with that in its best way, I would suggest basically clicking on this link, Install SQL Server Management Tools, and follow through with that process as well. And when you do, it'll lead you to a link here. You'll download this, run that program again, and you'll find in your Start menu after you're done that you will have two areas on your Start menu. You'll have Microsoft SQL Server 2017, and there's a link to that media folder location. If you want to go back in and add, you know, advanced reporting services or anything else changing the configuration of your original installation of SQL Express, you can do it with this. Otherwise, the Management Studio is going to be right here. And this is where you can click on that link, which should then allow you to log in to SQL Server Express in this case, and use the username and password, whatever you prefer here, Windows Authentication or SQL Server. I'm just going to pick SQL at this point, and I'm going to say SA and Asset Works, right? And I'll hit connect. It's good to be able to copy that server name and also put that in a notebook file. Kind of like your AssetWorks license key, you'll need to know this server name as well as you install AssetWorks later on. So we're just going to go ahead and connect and make sure that we actually have something that truly is recognizing that SQL Server got installed. So let's just see what happens here. Oh, can't connect. And my guess is that it was an issue of needing to reboot the system first. So I'm going to cancel out of this and close that program, and we will start again with another video that goes into configuration of the database with page 13 on this, okay? So that'll be the next step.